All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna do one last video on controlling low points. We're gonna cover two lines that I think can change any player's ball striking, controlling contact, controlling low point, and ensuring that we get a pretty good strike. So I think this is kind of an accumulation of everything that we've done so far on low point, how we're gonna put it together, and how we're going to turn you into a better ball striker. All right, so where we're going to start right here, we're just going to get right into it. So I'm not going to go through a lot of concepts. We've talked a lot about what low point is in our previous videos. We're going to go directly into things that we can do to make the strike better. So as you've noticed over the last few videos, we've talked a lot about the center of the chest, the center of the pelvis, and the center of the lead shoulder. This is where we're going to put a drill together, and we're going to build a station that I think is going to help each and every one of you out there that try this to become a better ball striker. I just tried it in some golf schools that I did last week with my good friend Giles Gill, and it's pretty incredible the stuff that we got out of it. So the first thing that I would say is we're going to build a station that we're going to present lines here down on the ground. So the first line that we're going to present is going to be the center of the golf swing, which is the lead shoulder in which the golf club works around. So if I take that and we present this on the ground right here, this is going to sit roughly where the player's lead heel is and would be hanging down where the lead shoulder joint is. Now the next line that we're going to take that's already stationed right in here, we're going to place this over the center of the sternum, and it's going to kind of represent where our spine is. So if we take the spine and we present this on the ground, there is an infinite number of ways that we can use these two lines in analyzing and also in goals that we're trying to do in regards to what we need the golf club to do interaction-wise with the turf and the golf ball. So how we're going to start is we've got our lead shoulder, we've got the center of the sternum. So for this drill, if you're using something 7-iron or less, this is where I would start. We're going to place the golf ball on the sternum line. Now in between these two lines is where the golf club is going to sit. So you can see how the golf club right here is going to be preset with the grip handle, forward, okay? From there, what this is going to give us now is it's going to give us an in to out path based on where, let's grab another alignment stick. It's going to help us preset an in to out path, which you can see from down the line because the shaft and the forearms and the shoulder lines will dictate a lot of where our path goes, but it's also going to preset us into a position to where we can make turf interaction. Now, I know a lot of us out there struggle with turf interaction. Either A, we hit too far behind it, B, we don't take turf interaction. So now from in here, what we're going to notice if I move this golf ball out of the way, and I move this alignment stick here, is we have a space right here between the center of our sternum and our lead shoulder. The very first thing that I would like to see you have the ability to demonstrate is from a half-length motion. Can we actually hit the ground consistently in between these two lines? If we are to error, let's try and error more forward towards the shoulder line. So I would come in here, I've preset the handle forward, I'm in my setup position, and I'm going to start just by making half swings, and landing divots, hitting the ground in between these two lines. Here is the important piece of this. When you see me doing this, I am not trying to hold angles in forever. Hear me out there. We are not holding angles in forever. Because when we look at this, here's the center of our shoulder. Here's the shaft. So we create an angle in between that. If I hold this angle forever, this golf club, if I continue to pull up on the grip, this golf club is not going to get to the turf. So what we need to do is we do need to learn how to actually release the golf club downward. And we also need to learn how to release the golf club outward. It makes it a lot easier when we have the center of the pelvis and the center of the chest more forward. So what this is teaching you, this is a form of a release pattern right here. So as I'm right in here, my lead wrist is lowering the club, as well as we're learning how to realign this with the lead shoulder to where we would have what we'd call a straight line release. So we're learning how to create a straight line release here inside of these two parameters. Very important that we're not just creating a hold off look forever. That's going to create thin shots. We're going to lose speed. So we want all this angle that we've created, the throw of this here, the throw of this is how we are transferring energy from the body down the arm into the golf club. So the first thing I would start with is learn how to land divots in between this area right here. So if I took a golf ball here like this, I'm going to place it on my sternum line. My grip handle is on my lead shoulder line. I'm going to start by hitting half shots here and landing a divot in between these two lines here, just like this. So that would be the very first place that I would start. We'll go there again. As we get more comfortable with it, I would highly encourage everybody to do this at faster speeds. I'm going to go into one more quick piece with it. So I'm going to go half swing again, and I'm going to do it a little bit faster. That was an even better strike, and so I can see how far forward this divot right here got. And now I have the ability to say, all right, my divots here are starting where this line is, slightly in front of it, and I can also see how far forward they're getting. That is one of our places. I cannot stress this enough. You need to practice this because this right here, this is a skill of learning how to land the golf club in the appropriate area of the turf in relation to where the golf ball is, okay? And we would use these points right here as our reference. Now, the next place that I would go inside of this, we are going to start to lengthen out the motion. But what I'm going to ask you to do, and this is going to challenge you from where a pressure standpoint is, making sure that we've had the ability to get the center of our pelvis, moreover where our lead shoulder started, and getting the center of the chest in front of where our sternum started. That's what gives us more of the ability to land this divot there. Now what we're going to give you here, what I'm going to ask you is inside of these lengths, half, 3/4, and then eventually into full, is we're going to go swing fast, land a divot in front, and stop as fast as we can afterwards. Because if we have enough of our pressure here forward, I'm going to be able to stop this golf club here pretty quick. And you'll notice it might feel a little bit different for a lot of you, but this is also teaching us how to unload the golf club in the right phase. It's also teaching us how to arc it more around us based on the timing in which we can call this releasing or throwing the club head the direction of the golf ball. And I really think it's a big speed lever that a lot of us don't really know that we have access to. So we'll give it a go. We're right in here. I'll start at the half again. I'm going to go swing fast, throw, stop, fast. Okay, so I'd be in here, grip handles forward, and we'll let it go. And that right there to me was an absolutely perfect strike. And you can see how the lead arm and the golf club are still in a straight line. They're not here, here, held off. We are starting to throw that and release it more into a straight line. And then we have our visual feedback of if we landed a divot in the right place. If there's one piece of information that I would give to the golfing world right now, practice this, own this, and become great at this. I really think this is a way that anybody that practices can get a lot better at controlling low point, contact, and ball striking in general, just with these simple drills right here. We'll do it again one more time. Again, last checkpoint. Center of the pelvis is over where the shoulder line started. The center of the chest is in front of where the sternum line is. The head is still on center, and the grip handle will be forward. So this would be more of our impact right here. I'll go here. We're going to swing it fast, throw it in between these two lines, stop quick. And that right there was another really good strike. So there's my last piece on low point, ways that I would manage it. Maybe we'll sneak another video in there on how to manage the depth of it. But this right here would be 101, where I would start building on all the things that we've already talked about in regards to controlling the low point. And here's one of your best ways that you can practice this. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Look forward to hearing your feedback on this. We'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this video here. If you haven't, please click that subscribe button. You can also click the bell right there, and that's going to notify you every time that I release a new YouTube video. Also, if you haven't, check out that last video that I did. It's right here, pinned to the screen. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, any comments, please leave those below, and I will make sure I get back to each and every one of you. So, thank you again. Appreciate your support. We'll see you next time.